Maureen Nolan has revealed she can't afford to retire despite selling millions of records at the height of her fame. The Nolans were one of the most successful girl groups in history, selling millions of records, topping the charts with iconic hits including I'm in the Mood for Dancing and rising to the ranks of international stardom, even boasting a tour with Frank Sinatra under their collective belts. But at the age of 69, the singer and actress is still having to work to pay the bills. Speaking to the Mirror, she's opened up on the fact she has no pension and she reckons her and her sisters were ripped off early in their careers. She said, "I need to keep working. We thought we'd be comfortably set up by this point in our lives, but I don't have a pension, I don't have any savings and I rent a house. When I split up from my husband in 2016, we sold our home. I couldn't have bought a new place without a mortgage and at my age you can't get a mortgage. I never thought I would ever rent. It would be nice to have just enough money to say, okay, I'm out of here, showbiz-wise. But I don't have that." Maureen sung with a band for 31 consecutive years, from when they formed in 1974 until their 2005 split, making her the longest-serving member. During their incredible 30-year career they sold more than 30 million of records. Maureen, the fourth of 8 children, said, "We made millions, well, somebody made millions, but not us. I think we were ripped off a bit along the way. We were probably a bit young and naive. We were very happy and we trusted people to handle our affairs. Looking back, that might be where it went awry. I sometimes think, what happened to that?" But she admits that despite her success, she still worries about money. She said, "Show business is feast or famine. When you're earning a lot, but then you can be out of work for 6 months. Of course, I worry about money and the older I get the more I worry. They say money doesn't buy happiness, but it makes misery a little bit easier, I think. But there's no point being bitter and twisted, you're still broke. So, I try to treat it with humor." Health concerns are also a feature of the star's life. Maureen's sister Bernie died from cancer at the age of 52 in 2013 and Linda has been battling breast cancer since 2006, which has now spread to her brain. Their eldest sister Anne, 72, was diagnosed with breast cancer for a second time 3 years ago, while youngest Colleen, 58, recently revealed she has a carcinoma. The family have been told they probably have a rogue gene that hasn't been identified yet. Maureen added, "So that's a worry. Because they think it must be a rogue gene, there aren't any tests available. We check ourselves and have regular mammograms, but we tend not to dwell on it. It's unfair, but you've just got to get on with it." Maureen lives in Blackpool, where she and her sisters grew up, and is within walking distance of her siblings, her son Danny and her 4 grandkids. Linda now lives with Denise and Anne is also nearby. It comes after a 4-year fallout between them after Anne said she was cut out of the group's 2009 reunion tour. Maureen revealed a truce was called after a letter from Anne and Denise, who had supported her older sister. Maureen said, "They said, let's try to get over it. It was awful, we've never fallen out like that before. My life was much less rich without Denise and Anne, so it was a huge relief when we made up. We're as close as ever now." Maureen has appeared in stage shows including Blood Brothers and Footloose, and she is now touring the UK with Calendar Girls the musical, which has been such a hit. The 4-month stint, which was to end in December, has been extended to June. It tells the story of a group of women in Yorkshire who created a calendar for charity, with a famous scene at the end which features them stripping off. Maureen admits she was slightly scared at first as she explained, "Part of me couldn't believe I'd said yes. But Calendar Girls has such a good history I couldn't say no, and the way they do that scene is so respectful. Now, it's almost second nature. I'm covered by lots of fruit. I'd like to say it's melons, but I think it's oranges." But despite now focusing on acting, Maureen said never say never about the possibility of another tour by the Nolans. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages. She said, "We joke that if we did, they'd call it the Zimmer Frame Tour. I'd never say never, but with Linda being ill it would be very difficult, and I think if we ever did do it, it would maybe be a Q&A format with a few little songs now and then." She adds, "It might come to a time where I can work out a way I can, maybe with the help of my state pension, sort something out. Or I could go and live with Colleen. But for now, I'll just keep going. They'll have to bury me in my lunch break."